much. Oh, I like that. Hey, how's it going? So as you can see, I'm still working on the project. Hopefully it makes sense with the greenery is coming through the wounds or cuts. I decided that I kind of wanted like this explosion of vinery coming out the bottom. Like, I don't know, like sometimes in like old movies, you'll see like a brick wall or a castle ruins, and there's this crack in the masonry, and there's just like this explosion of vines coming out of that, like something took root in there, and this is the only place that it can grow out of, so it's just anyway, I don't know, that was that idea for here. And then I want I was only going to do a few roses, but I think I'm going to go for too many roses, because the concept really is that life is fighting to get out of these places that people are trying to close you up in. Do you know what I mean? Like, you ever been in that situation, whether as a child growing up with parents or teachers, maybe it's a loved one. Sometimes it's a therapist that's not a good fit, or a doctor that's not a good fit, or somebody who doesn't understand how you are growing through the circumstance that you've been through. That, sometimes we go through things that no one should ever go through, and yet we are evolving in spite of it. And sometimes people, in the name of healing us, try to get us to go back to normal, just try to stitch it up, just try to close us up again. And sometimes that's not the answer. Sometimes, sometimes something new is coming out of that place where we were wounded and we were hurt. And it doesn't mean that we are grateful for what we went through. And I feel like that's the mistake sometimes, is that, every tragedy is not automatically a blessing just because you were able to make something, just because something beautiful is to come out of it, like, as much as I love this YouTube channel, as much as I love, all the people that I've met here and on TikTok, a lot of the things I share come from circumstances I wish I had never gone through. And while some of it seems to have been able to be helpful for some people, and I'm thankful for that, I definitely don't want to waste a good grief. No, it's not a good time. I don't want to waste a bad experience. I also don't want to stand here and be like, oh yeah, I'm so glad that this horrible thing happened to me because I found purpose and meaning through it. No, I found purpose and meaning in spite of it. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I was able to exact some agency. But the truth is, there are some circumstances that there's just, I can't speak for everybody. And I think that's the other reason why I don't like that kind of narrative, is because for some of us, we've been through something and there is no silver lining. There's no blessing in disguise. It's just horrible and never should have happened. Anyway, what was I trying to say? Oh, anyways, the idea is just showing, explosions of growth in spite of someone trying to tie it back down and make it nice and neat and normal, and, don't be so much. Don't be so much. Anyway, I know in my last video, I talked about, how I've got more books to read than I could ever read, more things I want to do that I could ever do. And I am, I've been thinking about, what does that mean for my life? What is that, what am I going to do? And I don't know yet. I know that whatever I decide, it's going to impact the future of this channel. It's going to impact the future of my vlog. It's going to impact the future of my TikTok account. It might be that the things I talk about might shift a little bit. It might be that the types of videos I make will change. I know when I did the last round of adjustments to how I posted videos and the cadence of them, and even some of the content, I lost subscribers. And at first that really stressed me out, because of course we want to grow the channel, right? You want it to grow, you want more people to show up, you want to earn money through your monetization. But I also realized that those of you, who stayed, you stayed because whatever it is that I'm offering is of value. And I think that one of the things I have to let go of is the illusion of control. I cannot control who follows me or who doesn't, who subscribes, who doesn't, who comments, who doesn't. All I can do is share content that I believe in, that I feel called to make, and the rest of it will work itself out as it needs to. And I've definitely found some peace in that, and some peace in that realization. So, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, but I've decided that I'm gonna probably restrict the number of library books I'm allowed to take out at a time. As much as I hate that, it's just kind of creating anxiety. So I'm only going to probably have max of 3 library books out at a time. And, when I read those, then I can go get more. Otherwise, I just need to wait. And, oh, crap, how'd that happen? What are you from? There we go. I think I'm going to try to have like a focus area. I don't know if it's going to be weekly or monthly. I'm still processing this, but I think that I want to have like a decision of what am I going to devote my time to, because the more I think about it, the more I want to continue this school thing, learning about, counseling and things like that, especially because of the content that I create. I talk about mental health, I talk about mindfulness, I talk about the things I go through, and some of you are, asking me really important questions. And while, yes, I have learned a lot through my life experience, and I have read a lot, I think that it would be helpful to you if I took the time to grow in my understanding of myself, of the human mind, of how we process and manage and work through all the things we go through. I definitely want to focus on things that I have experience in. I definitely want to focus on, trauma, on, mental health, autism, ADHD, living with chronic illness and chronic pain. I feel like if I were to gain a solid education in some of that, alongside my lived experience and lived life lessons. Maybe I should take a speech class as well, huh? I'm hoping that the quality of the stories that I share, of the work that I make, would improve, and that it would be a greater benefit. So, anyway. So those are my thoughts about the future of the channel, the future of my life, and I hope that made sense. And let me know what you think about this piece, where it's going. Let me know what you think about the concept, the idea that sometimes when we go through seasons of brokenness, that sometimes there's something new trying to emerge, and how people trying to hold back your personal growth can feel like trying to hold back life. I definitely also feel like this relates to, being a neurodivergent adult or child. A lot of times people can assume that, we need to be fixed by what they perceive as brokenness, when in reality it is our true selves splitting out of the facade that we created for ourselves. That's another way to look at it. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts, and feel free to drop criticisms too. It's okay. I think that any and all feedback is helpful. I wonder if I'm overdoing it with the roses. I don't know. Anyway. All right, that was it. I just wanted to talk to you guys for a little bit again. Love you all. Cheers.